Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. We are here where Arsenal return to the Emirates Stadium for this Sunday night Premier League fixture against West Brom. This is off the heartbreak of the Europa League semi-final where they crashed out of the competition against Villarreal after they were held to a 0-0 draw on Thursday night, meaning they went out 2-1 on aggregate. The tensions at Arsenal are rising. Kroenke is wanted gone. Arteta is wanted gone as well. So where is it next for Arsenal? A win tonight will be the start of forgetting the nightmares of this season where Arsenal have failed to qualify for Europe for the first time in 25 years. A defeat for West Brom would relegate them, and it would be the first time for Sam Allardyce to do so as manager, and it would also be West Brom's fifth relegation, the joint most in English football. And with Allardyce having a record where in 17 attempts he has never won away at Arsenal, it could be a disastrous night for the Baggies. The last time West Brom won at the Emirates, that was without Allardyce, back in 2010, the start of that season. So the Emirates curse could be broken tonight if West Brom could put a decent performance in, like their away win against Chelsea about a month or so ago. But both clubs come into this game desperately needing wins. Will Arteta's men make up for the disappointment of Thursday, or will Allardyce add some spice to the relegation battle? It's a big battle. It's a huge uphill battle for Sam Allardyce. It is looking like West Brom are going down. If they lose tonight, it is guaranteed they go down alongside Sheffield United and most probably Fulham. But again, Fulham isn't guaranteed to go down yet until probably tomorrow, where they play, I think, Burnley at home on Monday night. So we could see and find out all the relegated teams by tomorrow night. So we're going to have to see, but we could have one more relegated side here with West Brom. Will they get relegated tonight, or will they pull a big win out of the hat here, where a dejected Arsenal do come back to where they last played on Thursday, and will have to try and lift themselves as the fans are, angry and frustrated. I know there was more fans outside the ground tonight with Kroenke out banners and, all the usual stuff you see at the football protests, the usual banners and everything like that. So, like I said in the pre-match thing there, tensions are rising. Will the Kroenkes sell up? No Europe next season. It's looking like not even Europa League. So that's a massive amount of money that the club is losing not being in Europe next season. It's looking doom and gloom. The Spotify owner is looking to come in to buy the club alongside, the Patrick Vieira's, Thierry Henry's, and who was the other one? I can't remember the other player. It's like Vieira and Henry, the main two, and Dennis Bergkamp. That's it, and Dennis Bergkamp as well. So if that happens, that'll be good for Arsenal fans. But at the minute, the Kroenkes said they're not selling up, but the Spotify owner is apparently founder is putting in an offer soon. So we're going to have to see about that. But the kickoff is very, very close to happening here. Let me just change the countdown. I love all the comments in the chat if you put anything in a sec. Let's just get the game underway. Get your score predictions in, and let's hope for a good game on this Saturday night, 7 o'clock. Arsenal will be kicking right to left. West Brom left to right. West Brom are not in their blue and white strip like they've got on my lineups here. I've gone for a different one. I've gone for the circles instead of the kits. Let me know what you think about that. But they're in their green and yellow away strip. West Brom, as it could be their last game before being officially announced as a relegated club, down back to the Championship after one season back in. They've been under two managers, Slaven Bilic and Sam Allardyce. And Sam Allardyce, the saviour of saving teams from relegation, looks like he's going to be suffering his first relegation as a manager. Just very close to kick off. Both teams are out there ready, just waiting for the whistle from the referee, and we'll be getting underway. Mikel Arteta, he'll be wanting to try and turn the tides of Thursday. Remember, he has won 2 trophies as Arsenal manager. He won the FA Cup last year and the Community Shield, as the players do take the knee once again, saying there is no room for racism in the Premier League or even society as a whole. So the referee's blown the whistle once, he's blown it twice. Peter Banks has got the game underway. It's been played back to Rob Holding, switches it to the left-hand side, where Pepe will look to flick it on, header won by Yokoslu, over to Callum Robinson on the right, to Conor Gallagher, the Chelsea loanee. He volleys it up, where Gabriel, the Arsenal centre-back, will head it out for a West Brom throw-in on the West Brom right-hand side in the Arsenal half, and we are underway at the Emirates. Just change the colour of the timer there. Sorry, I thought I'd change it to black. There we go. Yeah, Connor Townsend has it on the left-hand side now for West Brom. Sends it down the channel, looking to get beyond Callum Chambers. He flicks it on the wrong way, and he'll be given chase by Matt Phillips, and it's headed out by Rob Holding for another throw-in, but on the left-hand side. Then it makes his here come on West Brom, even though it barely matters. Arsenal 2, West Brom 0. Okay, it does matter for West Brom, because if they can win, then, you know, that's one game less that they've got to worry about getting relegated. You know, they want to prolong it for as long as possible. So it does matter for West Brom this, because if they can somehow survive, it'd be quite the achievement. As Connor Townsend is going to look to put a long throw into the box here. The left back, number 14, he throws it into the box. Carl Bartley can't quite win the header on. It's Rob Holding who wins it, and it'll be a corner for West Brom as Holding is just holding his face. No pun intended there. Rob Holding was just clutching at his face there. He seems to be okay. I think he's let go now, and Carl Bartley, the captain, who went for the ball, didn't quite win it, but he has won his team a corner, so he could possibly score from this corner. Kyle Bartley, he has got 3 goals this season, one of them being against Chelsea earlier on in the season in that 3-3 draw. So Conor Gallagher to put an in-swinging cross in for West Brom. It's a delicious ball in, headed away by Holding over to the edge of the box where it's struck, and it's been stopped and cleared by Chambers, but not too far away where Saka has to nod on, only as far as Matt Phillips. It's now Callum Robinson on the right, one-on-one with Saka, shifts onto the left and gets a cross and comes off the knee of El Neni and drops to Dani Ceballos, who then feeds it out wide left to Saka, who then again clears it up along the pitch, and he finds Martinelli in a little bit of space, but it's good recovering from the midfielder Matheus Pereira to stop that counter-attack. He prods it back to Sam Johnston, the goalkeeper, and West Brom will look to get forward again as he sends it up the pitch, and Saka just head it down into his path and volley it away with his right foot towards Willian, who's been crashed to the ground by Daniel Furlong. And the referee did eventually signal a foul. I thought so. He didn't blow straight away there, the referee, Peter Banks, but he eventually saw the foul. Yeah, the left arm of Darnell Furlong right into the back of the head of Willian, who stayed on the ground. It'll be a bit of a nasty one to nurse. Like I said, Furlong just went right into the back of Willian's head with his left arm, and you know that aggression has earned Arsenal a free kick. It's Bukayo Saka. We are used to seeing him more in an attacking position, if that's left wing or down the middle or on the right wing. But he's had to play left back today. Tierney, who did play against Villarreal, wasn't really fully fit, so he's on the bench alongside Cedric, who also can play left back. And Saka's been given the nod in that position as we are back underway with Arsenal on the ball with former Bolton man Rob Holding over to Gabriel, the Brazilian, who's had a okay season to start off. He's only played 4 of the last 7 games in the Premier League, and he didn't play in the game against Villarreal. He was preferred to Pablo Mari, but his roles reversed that today as he gets ahead of Pablo Mari, but the Spaniard Ceballos gives it away to Yukoshlu. He's now over to the left to Matheus Pereira for West Brom. Connor Townsend, the left back, the Englishman, finds Pereira again. He drifted wide left. He fakes one cross and gets it back onto his left, then puts it in, and it's blocked off by El Neni over towards the corner flag where Pereira will keep it in for West Brom. Laid into the left back Townsend, who does work a ball into the box, headed away by Gabriel towards the edge where Matt Phillips tries to get it under control, can't quite do so, and Martinelli helps it towards Willian, can't keep it in possession. Matt Phillips has got it again, gets past 2 of them on the left, shifts it again to Matheus Pereira. Can he find a better ball this time? No, he can't. Deflects off by Callum Chambers and back to Pereira as he looks to get a second bite of the cherry. Plays it back to Townsend, who will then put a cross in. It's swung in and it's lifted in, and it's an easy catch in the end for Bernd Leno. And Arsenal a little bit under the cosh in the first 5 minutes of the game as it's been rolled out quickly to Emile Smith-Rowe. I will not call him the Croydon De Bruyne every 5 minutes like Martin Tyler. I'll just call him Smith-Rowe. Well, that is his nickname apparently, the Croydon De Bruyne. Emile Smith-Rowe. Can he put some De Bruyne-like crosses in today? It's El Neni. He shifts it to the furthest, widest player, Emile Smith-Rowe. Back into El Neni, who scored his first Premier League goal against Newcastle last week. Back to Smith-Rowe again. Now to Pepe on the edge of the 18-yard box. Finds El Neni again. Shifts it over to Dani Ceballos. Finds a gap through to Bukayo Saka on the byline. He gets a crossing with the left foot. A good defensive header away by Connor Townsend. Only finds Callum Chambers, who strikes it towards Martinelli. Bounces off the Brazilian to Pepe and strikes over the bar. That's going to be a goal kick to West Brom. First chance for Arsenal. Not scoring from it but it's a great ball from Ceballos as he fed it through the gap of Furlong and Callum Robinson, the two wide right plays for West Brom today. And Saka put a decent ball into a decent area, but it's Townsend who got there, headed it away, and then in the end it came to nothing as Chambers' shot wasn't good enough. Bounced off Martinelli to the path of Pepe, who wildly swung at the ball and sent it over the crossbar. So Arsenal coming close on their first real attack. Sam Johnston sends it to the right-hand side. Diagne falls to the ground, but Gabriel wins the header fairly, says the referee. It's now with Emile Smith-Rowe. Back to Holding. Now he's into Mohamed El Neni, the Egyptian. Holding again. So they played West Brom once, Rob Holding. That was this season in the 4-0 win as Gabriel's misplaced the ball to Martinelli, and it's now Carl Bartley to Semi Ajayi. It's now over to Connor Townsend. Now back to Johnston, the goalkeeper. He's going to be pressed by Nicolas Pepe, but he's able to shift it away, only as far as Ceballos, who headed up into the sky, and it's Furlong who gets onto it first. Up to Diagne, who chests it down and holds it up nicely, but can't release the ball to Callum Robinson. He finds Bukayo Saka instead. It's now with Willian turning into trouble, but he does kick it off Callum Robinson last to win Arsenal a throw in their own half. So Willian, who's not the most liked character in Arsenal, he's being really not really welcomed in his first year. You know, he's got a massive wage on his back, and he's repaid that massive wage with not scoring a single goal yet this season, Willian, and just not really. Every time I've watched him, he looks like he's just not bothered in my eyes, which would frustrate me as a fan. As Saka does have the throw in here on the left, where he'll be working with Willian as he throws it towards Yokoshlu and falls to Furlong, who volleys it away for West Brom. Bit of a waste of a throw, but they have got it back with a Bernd Leno. Rolls it quickly out to Callum Chambers, former of Southampton. He's going to sprint down the right-hand side. He's got Pepe in support, plays it forward towards him. Good slide tackle from Townsend to win it and chip it down the line, looking for Matheus Pereira. It'll run out for a throw-in for Arsenal as he ran out of pitch, and it's been taken quickly, and it's now Holding again. They're looking to use the wide areas to score some goals today. Arsenal get some crosses in and cause some danger. You know, they've got 3 strikers on the bench if they're really struggling for goals, the likes of Lacazette and captain Aubameyang, who was brought off in the 87th minute against Villarreal to fans' frustration. But got to remember, he is still recovering from malaria, which he did not have too long ago. The Gabonese captain and Arsenal captain as well. Bukayo Saka in the West Brom half for Arsenal as they look to build forward and look to relegate West Brom tonight. Arsenal with a win today is Ceballos, switches it over to the right to Pepe, brings it down with a nice touch, tries to get inside Connor Townsend, but he doesn't allow it the left back, and he wins it nicely and sends it up the field long, looking towards either Diagne or Robinson, but didn't fall near either of them in the end, and Gabriel had time to bring it down and distribute to Saka, who just about keeps it on the left, gives Martinelli something to chase, but Sami Ajayi gets there first, and he clears it long up in behind, looking towards Robinson. Gabriel gets there and deals with it in the end with a clearance to Smith-Rowe, who's laid it off into Mohamed El Neni, who won 4 Swiss titles with Basel, the team he joined Arsenal from. El Neni back in 2016, also spending the year out on loan with Besiktas last year, El Neni, and now back in the Arsenal team and nearly up to 40 appearances in all competitions this year, hitting 39 tonight as Willian's lost the ball easily from a West Brom point of view, and it's now Robinson inside to Yokoshlu, looking in behind and looking for Matheus Pereira, but a good header back to the goalkeeper by Callum Robinson. Means Arsenal back in possession. Their main man this season, Matheus Pereira, for West Brom, the Brazilian, signed on a permanent from Sporting Lisbon this season as Martinelli, another Brazilian, loses out to Yokoshlu. Now Sami Ajayi, again another long ball over the top, really misplaced, and it's going to trickle out. Goal kick or throw in? It's going to be a throw in right towards the corner flag for Arsenal, as those long balls over the top are looking a little bit hopeful at times by West Brom. They're not really finding anyone in behind as of yet. They're looking for the ball, but Arsenal have dealt with them pretty well so far. Saka throws it into the midfield looking for Smith-Rowe. Touched in towards Willian, loses out, and it's now Pereira back to the halfway line with Semi Ajayi, the Nigerian centre-back for West Brom, who did spend 2 years of his career at Arsenal. Semi Ajayi from 2013 to 2015, making 0 appearances, but featured on the bench 4 times as a ball forward towards Diagne is misplaced touch from him, and it's cleared away by Arsenal as far as the throw-in that final third for West Brom. So yeah, Semi Ajayi did have a 2-year stint at Arsenal, like I said, not making an appearance for the club, but was there for a little bit of time under the Arsene Wenger era. As West Brom do have a throw in here on the left-hand side. Again, it's on that left, so it's going to be a long Connor Townsend throw-in. We've had one so far already. Will he supply a better one this time as he throws it short actually to Matt Phillips, who then lays it off to Connor Townsend, then back to Phillips, who brings it down and plays it across to Yokoshlu, around 30 yards away from goal. It's now over to Conor Gallagher, who then goes back to the halfway line to Darnell Furlong. Clips it out wide left to Phillips. Lays it off into Townsend. Nice touch from Phillips. Now Townsend back to Yokoshlu. Now to Furlong. Again, back out to that left, carbon copy of what we just saw. Over to Townsend, who brings it down and gets beyond Nicolas Pepe and pulls it back into the box. And it's a strike, and it's a headed deflection by Rob Holding, only as far as Gallagher on the edge of the box, who heads it only as far as Willian. He helps it on towards Martinelli, brings it down against Yokoshlu and looks to break forward, but Ajayi doesn't allow it. Strengthens the Brazilian, and then Ajayi pokes it through to Matheus Pereira on the right, shifts it onto his left, tries to get a shot away, tackled once, but he retreats the ball and then shoots from far, and oh my word, how close can you get? That would have been up there with goal of the season. Matheus Pereira, how unlucky. Lost out first time, but he got the ball back then from about 30 yards out. He struck it on the left foot, and I think it just sailed over the bar, and it hit the one of the structures that hold the goal together just behind. Oh, just wide. So close from Pereira. Another chance for West Brom as they've got a good start to this game against Arsenal away. And Pereira, he's playing on the left at the minute, but he'd found himself on the right, got a left-footed strike away as he cut in, and nearly working an unbelievable goal for West Brom to give him an early lead, but not to be. So with Arsenal, with Callum Chambers, inside the Arsenal half is Smith Rowe. Goes back to Holding, who at his time at Arsenal did unfortunately suffer a cruciate ligament injury, so he suffered a lot of time out injured with Arsenal, but he's also had a knee injury in that time and hamstring injuries, missed a lot of games, 64 to be exact, but he's got a good run of fixtures this season and he's been captain a few times as well, as Pereira has it for West Brom as a long diagonal switch towards Pepe was cut out by Connor Townsend. So they're going to do their own switch here with West Brom, with Yokoshlu finding Furlong. From with QPR, Daniel Furlong. He joined QPR in 2006. Had 3 loans at his time at QPR, Daniel Furlong. He's now a first team at West Brom in the Premier League. Maybe not for long, because they'll go down to the Championship. As they did work, it's Connor Townsend on the left, and he's won himself a throw-in as it came off an Arsenal player last. Pereira to Townsend on the left. Goes for an early cross. He finds Robinson, who brings it down in the box and lifts it over Leno and hits the crossbar. And it'll fall into the hands of the German. I think he was offside, Robinson, as the early ball was put in by Townsend on the left-hand side. Yeah, just drifted offside there. A little bit too excited to get into the box. Callum Robinson into a dangerous area and just straight offside. But he did it the crossbar, and it's another chance. I knew he was offside, but he got into the right place just at the wrong time. Callum Robinson, who scored a few goals this season, scored 5 goals this season, 4 of them against Chelsea. 2 at home, 2 away. As El Neni dinks it to Pepe, lays it off to Smith Rowe, the number 32. Puts it back to El Neni, forward to Pepe, back to El Neni again. Shifts it over to Dani Ceballos, who has said that he does not want to stay at Arsenal for any longer than this season. He wants to return to Real Madrid, so his time at Arsenal will come to an end at the end of this season, as he's still on the ball, the Spaniard, and again sprays it wide right to Smith Rowe. Nice ball inside to Pepe. First time layoff to Smith Rowe, tries to play it through to Chambers in the box, but it's been cut out by Matt Phillips. And it's played to Ajayi, then shifts it. What a ball out wide left to Pereira. He's got loads of room to run into down the left-hand side. He's got Dianya in support. He'll go for a shot himself, and it's just wide again. Matheus Pereira, 2 left-footed shots, one from the right-hand side and that one from the left. Try to sneak it into the near post, beaten Bernd Leno, but it's just gone wide. It's a powerful shot, and yeah, just a couple of yards wide in the end from Pereira as he looked to score another goal this season. Yeah, quite far wide actually in the end off replays, but the intent's there, the thoughts there, and just not quite the execution. As Arsenal are back in possession, a bit of a, nervous first 15 minutes. West Brom attacking and creating chances, but it's time for Arsenal to try and do their own a bit of attacking with El Neni in the West Brom half, playing it over to Nicolas Pepe. Not got many options, so go for a switch. Looking towards Bukayo Saka, who's joined the attack, finds him beautifully and brings it down wonderfully. Tries to get beyond Callum Robinson, and he does do so. Down the byline, needs to find the right ball, plays it across, and somehow doesn't hit a red shirt. Goes all the way across to Pereira, who holds it up against Chambers. Plays it back to his left back, who then plays it up towards Diagne. Can't keep it under control, and it's now back with El Neni. As Arsenal look to attack again. What a chance that is. What a ball from Saka, but there's no Arsenal shirt there to finish it off. Chambers forced backwards to Holding. Across to Ceballos. He's playing the left central defensive midfield role, and he slips it through to Saka. What a ball. Saka, will he shoot? He'll strike it. No, he won't, because he's been challenged by Furlong. And what a tackle by the right back. Ceballos has done that ball before, about 5 to 10 minutes ago, where he slotted it through to Saka, who put another ball into the box. But this time, he found him, and in a shooting chance he had, he's just pulled the trigger too late, and he wasn't even allowed to pull the trigger because Furlong tackled him so soon as West Brom looked to get in behind quickly, but it falls to Leno. What a challenge from Furlong. Got the ball first, clearly. And what a challenge. It's a great ball from Ceballos outside of the boot, again through that gap on the West Brom right-hand side. Through to Saka. Took too long to strike the ball, and the ball was taken away from him in the end. And one of the better challenges you'll see by any defender to stop that shot from happening. It was wonderful defending. As Gabriel back to Saka again on the left as he joins the attack in the final third. Can he cross it in better this time? No, he can't. He misses Gabriel at the near post. Falls all the way into the hands of Sam Johnston, who's only played Premier League games this season. No games outside of any other competition. Sam Johnston, 33 appearances. Just missing one game, and that was against Wolves in a 3-2 win under Sam Allardyce, where David Button, the backup keeper, played in that one. But other than that, he's played 33 games and kept the 6 clean sheets as Diagne loses out to Gabriel, and it falls to Smith Rowe, who his header is fallen as far as Kyle Bartley volleys it forward to Diagne, gets it to Conor Gallagher as Danny Ceballos misses the ball. So Matt Phillips to the right back, Furlong, lifts it back towards Phillips, who's made a run down the right, and he collects the ball, and he's one-on-one with Gabriel, trying to get down the byline for a cross, shifts onto his weaker left foot and does cross it towards the back post. Had to be headed away by Chambers, and it will fall to the Brazilian Pereira, who will fancy chances against Chambers to work across, and somehow Diagne's not put it into the back of the net. It goes all the way across, and it falls to Phillips, lays it off to Furlong, who then shifts it back into the box, headed away by El Neni and helped on by Martinelli, who's followed only as far as Kyle Bartley, who strikes, deflected, falls back to the centre-back, he plays it forward only as far as El Neni, who then finds Willian, and there's a counter-attack on for Arsenal. The former Chelsea man, Willian, bringing it forward for Arsenal. He's got runs of Pepe and Martinelli ahead of him. Smith Rowe's joining the attack, and he will use Smith Rowe, and he looks to play it through to Pepe, who's fell to the ground on the edge of the box. I don't think the referee saw it, so he can't give a foul, and the attack's died down as it falls to Sam Johnston. Let's have a look here. Pereira shifting it quickly onto his left, playing it right across goal, and Diagne might have got a slight touch onto it, but not towards goal, just helping it further on across the goal line. And that's twice now. Saka putting a ball in, which went right across goal, and so has Matheus Pereira with that one, but that one especially probably should have been finished from a couple yards out as Semi Ajayi looks again down the line, looking for Conor Gallagher, who's making the run down the right. Can't quite keep it in, and it will fall for an Arsenal throw in right in towards that corner flag, where they're going to have to be boxed in here by West Brom. It's been taken quickly by Saka to Ceballos, gets the ball back and lays it into Gabriel, who will then send it long first time down the Arsenal left, where Martinelli will look to head it on, but Semi Ajayi wins it, and it's now with Conor Gallagher back to goal. So he has to go backwards to Furlong, then helps it forward towards Callum Robinson in behind. El Neni comes to cover Saka and wins the ball and shifts it over to Saka, and defended well by El Neni as they work to play it out from the back with Gabriel over to Holding. Gets beyond Pereira and then works it to Callum Chambers on the right. Enters the West Brom half. He's got Pepe ahead of him with Smith Rowe and Martinelli more centrally placed, and it's now with Pepe. Going to work Connor Townsend here onto his left, can't play it inside, the flex though to Callum Chambers. He's going to look to put a cross in towards Martinelli, gets beyond him and headed away by Furlong, going as far as El Neni. Nods it over to Willian on the left. Can he work his Brazilian magic? The number 12 shifts it onto his right, plays it on the edge of the box to Mohamed El Neni, who strikes, and it's not spilt by Johnston. He stops the ball and holds it for a little bit of time to give West Brom a chance to just regroup and look to start another attack soon. But El Neni, who did score in his last game and his first Premier League goal in that game against Newcastle, was looking for his second, as he's only making his 15th start of the Premier League season in game week 35. Sam Johnson out of the hands, volleys it up the pitch where Gabriel wins the header up towards Willian, who nods it inside to Smith Rowe, and he will go down a run on the left hand side. He's got Yokoslu chasing him down, and the Turkish internationals got there first and seen it out for a goal kick. What defending by the midfielder Yokoslu there. Akay Yokoslu came on loan on, I think, deadline day from Celta Vigo, and what a sign. He's been in that midfield, usually playing alongside Ainsley Maitland-Niles, but he is not available as he would be playing against his parent club, Arsenal, who he has made 121 appearances for, and the club he's been at since 2003. But Yokoslu's been fantastic, and they'll want to try and keep him on a permanent, but they'll have to try and persuade him to play Champions League, he wishes, Championship football next year. As it is with West Brom now, with Ajayi on the ball at the back in the West Brom half, plays the cross to Kyle Bartley, who's also formerly of Arsenal. He was there from 2007 to 2012, so both West Brom centre-backs formerly of Arsenal, not quite working for either of them, as Robinson gets given the ball here and tries to get a cross in, comes off Saka, and a throw in for West Brom right in towards that right-hand side corner flag, but it looks like as Callum Robinson's tried to put the cross in, he's just caught Saka on the follow-through as he tries to kick the ball. Oh no, he's not even kicked the ball, he's gone to cross it, but Saka's foot's got there first, pokes it away, and he's just stamped on his foot. Completely accidental by Callum Robinson, and it will be a throw-in, won't it, surely? Or will it be a long throw-in, maybe? Yeah, a long throw-in, but this time from the West Brom right, so it'll be Darnell Furlong to put a long throw in. So we've had a few from Connor Towns on the left back. We've got one from the right back now with Furlong, who throws it in towards Ajayi, headed away by Willian and helped on once more by Pepe. As far as Phillips, a pass is short to Furlong, falls to Willian, plays it forward towards Martinelli, too much on it. It allows Matt Phillips to get there first and play it back to Sam Johnston. And West Brom defend that scare of a counter-attack from Arsenal as he plays it wide left towards Pereira, well dealt with by Chambers to get there first. Nicely brought down by Smith Rowe, and then plays it forward to Chambers again as he will maraud forward from the right. He's got Pepe inside, uses the Ivorian. Just tries to keep it under possession as he's pressured by Gallagher, and he plays the harder play. And the throw in for West Brom, that's really poor from Pepe. Just took a poor touch, and then he was under pressure by Gallagher, and he couldn't shift it away from him before running out of pitch. So a throw in for West Brom, who again have had a fantastic start with 23.5 minutes in. And West Brom probably look like the most dangerous team, and look like the team that look most likely to score. As Ceballos has picked it up from the West Brom throw-in. And then he back to Gabriel, signed from Lille in the summer. Gabriel scoring 3 goals so far in his Arsenal career, one of them in the Europa League against, I think it was Eintracht Frankfurt. Was it Olympiacos? I think it was Olympiacos, sorry, he scored against. My bad, it wasn't Frankfurt. Gabriel to Ceballos. Like I said, he will be returning to Real Madrid in the summer. See if he can get any game time under Zinedine Zidane. So, quite a strong West Brom back line allows Arsenal to have possession around their back line, with Holding playing it forward to El Neni. Across again to Ceballos. How will they get through this defence? They've done it a few times with Ceballos playing balls through the channels as he lifts it over to Chambers this time on the right. He is onside, touches it down and finds Nicolas Pepe. Now to El Neni. Pepe again. Over to Ceballos. Just control possession here from Arsenal, not rushing anything. We'll wait for the gaps to appear. El Neni to Ceballos, around 30 yards away from goal now as he shifts onto his right. Will he fancy a long range strike? No, he won't, but he will be caught late by Phillips as he looked to shift the ball away from himself. Ceballos there, he was caught late by Matt Phillips, and a free kick for Arsenal in a dangerous position here. Like I said, he's just looking to shift the ball there, Ceballos, and he was just caught late by Matt Phillips. A rightly given free kick. It's the most daylight free kick you'll ever see, and it's a free kick for Arsenal. I'll tell you how far out it is Ooh, it's a Willian kind of distance, this. Around 25, 30 yards out. Like I said, he signed in the summer, Willian, from Chelsea, and he scored many goals for Chelsea. He scored 63 in 339 appearances for Chelsea. But yet to score this season for Arsenal in 36 appearances, 37 including today. So can he get his first goal? It's perfect for a right footer. It's decent range. It's a little central, but I'm sure Willian can work with that. He's usually a set-piece specialist, especially in his time at Chelsea. And will he put the ball into the box? He doesn't look like he's shaped for a shot. Looks like he's going to dink it into the box. Yeah, he'll clip it into the box, to the far post where Chambers will play it across, deflects off Townsend in the corner. Interesting. I thought Willian could have given that a good hit. I know it's quite far out, but you might as well give it a go. Because Arsenal haven't got much to play for, sitting in 10th position. But they did it that way. It nearly worked. Chambers' cross was blocked off by Townsend, and we've got a corner kick with Willian. It'll be an outswinger as they flood the 6-yard area, Arsenal players. Can they make this count? Willian crosses it in. It's a good ball towards Gabriel, headed away. And Dani Ceballos will give chase as he gets there. Played over to Smith Rowe, one of the deepest sitting Arsenal players. It's now Martinelli. Saka, who's found himself in the right-back area, works it forward to the right-back, Chambers. Inside to El Neni, back out wide to Saka, who will enjoy his time here in right wing. It's now with Willian. Clips it into the box where Semi Ajayi will cut it out. He was looking for Pepe, couldn't find Pepe. Ajayi was the man he found. Now his intended target, and it'll be another corner for Arsenal to take. Yeah, it's interesting to see two Arsenal rejects. I don't like using the word rejects because they've done pretty well in their careers. Kyle Bartley and Semi Ajayi, still playing Premier League football, but the two players that were at Arsenal for some time and just didn't quite work out. It's great to see them playing in the Premier League, not letting a move away from Arsenal affect them. With Willian again, an outswinging corner. It's towards Callum Chambers. It's helped across goal where it's just behind Gabriel. But again, Ceballos will give chase on the far left and he will get there. He's been chased by Semi Ajayi and he'll go back to Holding. Shifts it back over to Ceballos. We'll find Rob Holding again on the halfway line. Over to Martinelli, the striker, playing as a centre-back currently, who will release the ball again to the right to Saka, who's not on his right side at the minute, and finds Martinelli again in space. Arsenal have been crying out for the Brazilian to get some more game time, and he's getting a bit of game time. He scored one Premier League goal this year, and that was in my last commentary of Arsenal. He was against Sheffield United away in that 3-0 win. It's now Willian on the right. Can Martinelli score again? It's another seems to be relegated team. Ceballos over to Gabriel as Arsenal are high into the West Brom half as they look to score the first goal, and we're just under 29 minutes in. It is still 0-0. Gabriel towards the edge of the box works it to the left hand side to Smith Rowe. Now back over to Ceballos. Willian is they're back on the left hand side now. Willian and Saka, and he's found Saka and it's in the box to Smith Rowe. Beautiful Arsenal goal. The two youngsters linking up. They have been the shining light in a struggling Arsenal team. Smith Rowe and Saka, they have linked up just before the half an hour mark to strike against West Brom. And this goal looks like it could be the start of the floodgates opening for Arsenal as they do strike first at the Emirates against Sam Allardyce's West Brom. It's a greatly worked goal here as Willian got the ball from Ceballos, worked it down the byline to Saka, who put a cross in to the box, looking for someone to get on the end of it, and then 6 yards out, Smith Rowe, left foot, volley. No chance for Sam Johnston. It's a great goal between the two youngsters. Smith Rowe, great technique, volleys the ball low into the bottom right corner and gives his team the lead. And what a way to score a goal. Left foot, volley, and it's an even better way for Emile Smith Rowe to score his first ever Premier League goal. He's played 19 times in the Premier League, 16 of them coming this season, 17 including today. 19 Premier League appearances, 17 of them this season, and he's finally got his first goal of the Premier League. It's against West Brom just before the half an hour mark, giving his team the lead. And despite being under pressure against West Brom, in the early parts of the game, they've started to get on the ball a little bit more, create a few more chances, and you could say it's deserved, you could say it's undeserved, but they've got the lead through Smith Rowe. They were ever so slightly working their way towards the West Brom back line there, and after a lot of possession, Arsenal, they did finally break through, and like I said, it's a great finish for Smith Rowe to get his first Premier League goal of his career, and probably first of many as he plays through Pepe on the right. He looks to get a crossing just behind Martinelli. It'll go across towards Saka, where Furlong in the end will see it out of play for a goal kick for West Brom. Saka with the assist as well, currently playing left back. Saka, he picks up his 4th assist of the season. He's also scored 5 goals, but he hasn't scored one in the Premier League for 14 games, Bukayo Saka. Well, that time he was provider, not goal scorer. The goal scorer was Smith Rowe. He's been at the academy since 2010. And what a way to score your first Premier League goal. Unfortunately, it's not in front of any fans, but I don't think he'll care too much. He's just very glad he's underway in the Premier League as he got it back for Arsenal from the West Brom goal kick. He played it over to Callum Chambers, and he's now back with Rob Holding to El Neni in the Arsenal half, as Arsenal, after a bit of a worrisome 20 or so minutes, as West Brom looked quite confident going forward, they've got their foot on the ball and they're looking to attack again with Ceballos finding Saka. He's done that a few times now, Ceballos. Saka has to hold it up and wait for support, and he's got that with Willian, who gets it inside to Ceballos. Forward to Pepe, 1-2, back to Ceballos. Loses out, but Holding with a strong challenge, commits a foul on Diagne, and a free kick for West Brom as Ceballos just lost the ball there. A little too cheaply, and Holding thought he could get there ahead of Diagne, but the Arsenal captain for tonight, Rob Holding, couldn't quite do so. Diagne just got there first, played it across looking for Yokoshlu, and was caught late by Holding. Will that be a yellow card? I don't think it will. I think he'll get away with that, Rob Holding. But Ceballos didn't get away with his misplaced passes. Obviously, Arsenal ended up losing possession with the free kick for West Brom. Sam Johnston clears it towards the West Brom right. Kyle Bartley will flick it on with the header. Cut out by Holding, cleared by Saka only as far as Kyle Bartley on the edge, but tackled by Smith Rowe, and they played it forward quickly to Martinelli. Can't keep it under control. It's now Gallagher to Furlong. Gallagher again looking to lift it in behind for Pereira. Can't find him, but he's won it back. And then lost it again as he tries to play it inside to Pereira. But Saka cut it out, and he's played it to Gabriel, who shifts it down the channel. Only as far as Yokoshlu heads it over to Furlong. His header looks for Pereira, but cut out by El Neni, up towards Willian, who brings it down and lifts it over to Saka. He then finds Willian again and lays it into the other Brazilian, Gabriel. Now to El Neni on the edge, shifting it quickly to Saka, then back to Gabriel, and they have beaten the West Brom press there quite well. Arsenal, as Ceballos just played forward to the goal scorer, Smith Rowe, misplaced ball, cut out by Callum Robinson, but his touch isn't good enough. Ceballos can bring it away for Arsenal. On the right, he's got Callum Chambers asking for it, and he shall receive the ball to Pepe. 1-on-1 with Townsend again. He's got an overlap of Chambers, doesn't use him, cuts inside and shoots himself, and it's into the top left corner. Nicolas Pepe, take a bow. What a goal. He doubled Arsenal's lead, and it looks like the West Brom ship is sinking to the Championship. Pepe with a beautiful goal. He could have easily played the easy ball to Chambers on the overlap, but decided instead to cut in from the right onto his left, let the bullet fly into that top left corner. Again, Sam Johnston in the West Brom goal with absolute no chance. We'll see it again here. Picks it up on the right, 1-on-1 with Connor Townsend. He thinks he's going to play the overlap. He doesn't. He cuts inside. Kyle Bartley, not aggressive enough on the press and try to shut down Pepe. It allows him to shoot. Sam Johnston does get a hand to it, but just only helps it into the top left corner. It's a beautiful goal by Pepe. Unfortunate for Sam Johnston, who, like I said, did get a hand to it. Not a good enough hand to it. It's a goal for Arsenal. It's a goal for Pepe. It's 2-0 to Arsenal. And it looks like they will be picking up 3 points tonight to put themselves on 52 points. It'll be their 15th win of the season. And it does look like Arsenal are going to be relegating West Brom tonight. As Arsenal have already got the ball back with Leno as West Brom went long looking towards Matheus Pereira, but too much on it, overly hit by West Brom. It's now Gabriel, brings it forward. Looks in behind towards Saka, cut out by Philong to Matt Phillips. Philong again trying to get forward. Challenged and tackled by Willian. It'll be a throw-in the Arsenal half for West Brom as they look to try and get back in this game, as it's thrown down the line to Matt Phillips, the Scotsman. Tries to go on the outside of Ceballos. He doesn't allow that to happen. The Spaniard, and throwing again for West Brom. As like I said, first 20 minutes, they put Arsenal under the cosh a little bit. Looked the better team, looked like the team that was going to score, but from the 20th minute onwards, Arsenal just really picked it up and just outshone West Brom and just showed their quality that they do possess, with the likes of Saka, Smith Rowe, Pepe as well. Their main stars in this Arsenal team is Furlong. Throwing it short to Pereira, lays it back into Furlong, who will then help it into the box. It's a little too long, and Pepe will head it away as far as another throw-in for West Brom, but on the opposite side. Will it be Townsend to put it in long with the throw-in? We'll have to see. He's done it a few times, the left back. But it looks like Arsenal might not need the likes of Aubameyang and Lacazette, who are on the bench, alongside Martin Ødegaard. Thrown back to Conor Gallagher. Then over to Townsend, who's got a lot of time to put a cross, and his Pepe slipped. Down the byline he goes. He lifts it in towards Semi Ajayi. He wins the header, and it's fantastically tipped over the bar by Leno. But I think a free kick's been given against Semi Ajayi as he pushed an Arsenal player in the back to win the header, to force that save from Bernd Leno. Let's have a look. Townsend, who had a lot of time to cross it, he just chipped it in to the far post. It was actually Gabriel. I think Gabriel was pushed over by Diagne, and then Ajayi put two hands in the back of El Neni to also foul him as well. So either way, it was going to be a free kick for Arsenal. And West Brom, again, coming close, but not close enough to get their first goal of the night. So it's Ceballos over to Gabriel. You've got to remember, though, as well. I'm going to say you've got to remember, it's not like you'll know this off the top of your head, but the last time West Brom won, Arsenal was in the September of 2010, but they won it 3-2. And they went 3-0 up, though, and Samir Nasri scored 2 Arsenal goals to get it back to 3-2, but it wasn't enough to secure any points that day. But, they could do the same. Well, they say the same. They could do, something similar in terms of winning 3-2, but instead of going 3-0 up and conceding 2 late goals, they could go 2-0 down and score 3 goals themselves. We'll have to see. But it's Martinelli from range, strikes it, and it just curls over the crossbar. Speculative from Martinelli, about 30 yards away from goal. As Arsenal did get forward in the end and couldn't quite force a save from Sam Johnston. Yeah, last time they won, September 2010 at the Emirates. Samir Nasri scored for Arsenal, but for West Brom it was Peter Odemwingie to start the scoring in the 50th minute, and then Gonzalo Jara in the 52nd minute, and then Jerome Thomas in the 73rd put them 3-0 up, and then Nasri scored in the 75th in the 90th minute. And it wasn't enough for Arsenal to secure a draw. It was West Brom's win in the end in that season. Smith Rowe forward to Callum Chambers again as Arsenal are back in possession as they look to maybe add another goal to their tally before half time. They have scored 48 goals now in the Premier League this season. It'd be a nice number to hit if they can hit 50. Maybe we secure 2 more goals today. Willian making a run off Saka, but Saka decides to not use him. And it's now with Willian, as it was given to Gabriel, and it's a 1-2 with Saka, and Willian's been fed down the left. He's got a lot of time down the byline, tries to play the cross. Good recovery from Furlong to block the cross, and a corner kick it is for Arsenal. Willian looking to supply assist. Even though he's not scored this season, Willian has assisted a couple of times. He's assisted 5 times this season in the Premier League and in all competitions. And he's also won 7 games when playing West Brom. He's played them 10 times. He's won 7 and drawn 3. He's never lost against West Brom. But even though he's never lost, he's also never scored or assisted in this fixture as well at his time at Chelsea and Arsenal. As Willian is stood over it with an in-swinger, will he play it short to Saka? Let's have a look. Peter Banks is telling Callum Robinson to shift further back. Matheus Pereira to move further back. Plays it short to Saka, and then Over to Martinelli, then back to Willian on the angle, plays it down the line to Saka, keeps it in, lifts it in, Gabriel with the header, always been knocked off balance, and it's a corner kick for Arsenal. Gabriel putting his head where it hurts, looking to win the header, and let's have a look, see if he headed it onto a West Brom player. Let's have a look, crossed in, I think it may have came off the head of Gabriel, then came off Semi Ajayi, but the main outcome of that passage of play was another Arsenal throw-in, corner. Men are in the box here, Chambers holding, Gabriel, they all look to try and get their names on the score sheet, the defenders. Willian takes it quickly, the Lino has a bit of a fall there on the right-hand side of Arsenal's, but they've got it back to Willian. One-on-one with Callum Robinson, shifts it past him, enters the box, plays it across to Callum Chambers, first time hit by the right back. Over the bar it goes, not far away though, as he took it first time. I had to mention the linesman slipping there as Willian caught him off guard with a quick corner. Basically what happened there, Willian was looking to move the ball with his hand, on the corner flag just to try and look like he's just wasting a bit of time, but then took it quickly and then the linesman just lost his foot in and slipped. I had to mention it because it was quite funny. But on serious note, Arsenal didn't score from the attack. Callum Chambers blazing it over the bar as West Brom do, flicking on with Diagne towards Robinson, cleared though in the end by Arsenal. Out towards Pepe, brings it down towards Smith Rowe, who is challenged, but it doesn't fall to a West Brom player. It falls back to Callum Chambers. It's now Velneny in the 18-yard box for Arsenal. Forward to Willian, who's drifted centrally. Finds a gap through to Smith Rowe. Lots of room on the Emirates turf for Smith Rowe, and he releases Nicolas Pepe. The two goal scorers linking up, and he pokes it back towards Smith Rowe, looking for another ball towards Pepe with a bit of a flick on. Couldn't quite find him though, and cleared by West Brom only as far as Callum Chambers. Chambers. He's played 6 games this season in the Premier League, all 6 of them coming in the last 8 games in the Premier League, getting a nice little run at right back, as he did spend not last season, the season before, at Fulham, playing 33 times for them, scoring twice in a 4-2 win against Brighton and a 2-1 loss to Chelsea. Smith Rowe looks to be fed down the right-hand side, cut out by Townsend and cleared. Again up towards Chambers, who will be taking this throw-in now, as it just ran out of pitch. Close to half-time, with 2 minutes away plus added on time. Sam Allardyce is going to have to think of what he can do next. Been in charge at West Brom since 16th of December of 2020. Managed them 22 times. He's come up with 4 wins, 7 draws and 11 losses as Ajayi picks it up for West Brom as Arsenal's attack is killed off, and Sam Johnston plays it forward. As far as Elneny, brought down beautifully, lifted towards Ceballos, who can't quite do the same. Loses it, and it's played forward towards Robinson. He's not got there first, but the clearance is poor, goes right across to Pereira. He's found himself on the right, tries to get beyond Elneny. A beautiful slide challenge. And Pereira loses it, and he stays down, unfortunately, for West Brom. Hopefully that's not too serious. It's Pepe. Plays it forward to Smith Rowe. He's always liking the movement of drifting towards the right-hand side for Arsenal. Satu Elneny. Now over to Ceballos. Finds Willian on the left, shifts it onto the right, and then plays it back to the left to Saka. Will he shoot this time? Yes, he will. Looks towards the near post. Taking the greedy option there, Saka. And it's saved by Sam Johnson at the near post. Should he have squared it? Probably, but it didn't look like there was much movement in the box. Ceballos, who worked it to Willian, shifted it onto his right and then played it down the left. And yeah, there wasn't really much movement for Saka, so decided to shoot. I'm surprised he's not done that sooner, Saka, shooting from these tight angles, but that was ridiculously tight and just won the corner instead. But like I said, in the box, there wasn't really much movement for Saka to aim at, to be honest. So the shot, I can't really blame him, to be honest. The movement wasn't great. Saka does play it short to Willian. Back over to Martinelli. It's now with Saka. Back inside to Martinelli. Will he put it in the box? He will put it in the box. Out of the way by Carl Bartley to Diagne on the edge. Will hold it up. He's going to be pressured here by Chambers. Just about shifts it on to Conor Gallagher. It's now with the right back in the right back area. Furlong as West Brom want to get back in position from the corner. It's back to Sam Johnston to Carl Bartley. 1 minute of added on time, so we'll play till 46 at the Emirates for this late Sunday night kickoff. Yokoshlu in the West Brom half with the ball. Ajayi Forward to Pereira, back to Yukoshlu, who just sits in between the two centre halves here. Jai inside to Pereira, who's dropped deep in that holding midfield role to get the ball and try and shift it along for West Brom. As again, they got off to a great start, but when Arsenal went through the gears in this first half, they did break through the defensive West Brom as Ajayi's misplaced ball falls to Ceballos in the Arsenal half. Savalneni forward to Smith Rowe, we're now in the Arsenal half. 20 seconds left of the half. Back we go to the halfway line to Callum Chambers. It's now with Rob Holding. He's also yet to score in the Premier League, a bit like Smith Rowe up until today. Willian just about gets it through to Martinelli. Back to Ceballos. Willian was brought down in the process, but the advantage was played. Now Saka played the minute, and that's all the referee wants to see. Doesn't allow any further attacks. It is 2-0 to Arsenal come the end of the first 46 minutes of this game. We have 1 minute of added on time. Wasn't enough for Arsenal to add to their scoreline, but they are 2-0 up. Emile Smith-Rowe scored the first goal for Arsenal after coming under a little bit of pressure within the first 20 minutes of the game. Arsenal picked up the pace from the 20th minute onwards, and then 10 minutes later, around the half an hour mark, to be precise, 25th minute, Smith-Rowe scored from 6 yards out as the ball was worked nicely down the left between Willian and Saka. Saka got it down the byline, looked up, saw Smith-Rowe, played a lifted ball into him, and then Smith-Rowe took it absolutely beautifully with a left-footed volley just beyond Sam Johnston. Couldn't do anything about it. Well taken by the youngster. And then 6 minutes later, instead of the left-hand side, it was on the Arsenal right-hand side. As Pepe was played the ball down the right, he was going to look like he was going to play the overlap ball to Callum Chambers, but he went against that. He cut inside, trusted his own ability, and curled one into the top right corner. It was a beautiful goal. Sam Johnston did get a hand to it, but the hand wasn't strong enough. It's a beautiful goal by Pepe. And at half-time, despite the early West Brom chances and pressure, Arsenal shone through with their talent, and they are leading this game by 2-0. And this win will put them from 10th to 9th, leapfrogging Leeds with 52 points, as Leeds sit currently on 50 points themselves. The sun is right in my eyes as somehow it is sneaking through a gap of the window here. Can you see it? You can probably, yeah, you can see it. It is blinding me. I'm just going to quickly just shift the curtain across. Give me a second. Okay, I can no longer get blinded by the sun. So I was itchy eye. If any of you are in the chat, if you want to put anything, you can do so. I know it's half time, but this is the best time to chat. Yeah, half time. While you're here, I'll tell you the commentary's coming up. I've had to change it around a bit just because of certain things that are happening in the next couple of weeks. So I've shifted a commentary. I was supposed to do Thursday, Aston Villa, Everton, but then I've realised I didn't want to. So I've then changed it instead to Tuesday night. So Manchester United play Leicester at 6. So the game after that is Southampton versus Crystal Palace. I'll be doing that game 8:15, so another late kickoff on the 11th of May. So make sure you're there for that. That's in just 2 days' time. Changed it just because I wanted to change it. No other reason. I just didn't want to do the Thursday game, if I'm going to be honest. And then we've got to wait 6 days. So for the 17th of May, we have got a different commentary. At the minute, as things are going, that Southampton Crystal Palace game is the last Premier League commentary of the season. We've nearly done a commentary every game week on this channel. The only time we couldn't do a Premier League commentary was Boxing Day, Arsenal versus Chelsea, because my channel got copyright struck for, again, just no reason, which is always great. It happens all the time. But other than that, we've nearly done a commentary every game week. It's been quite fantastic. It's been a good year this year, consistency-wise. So that might be, from my schedule here, that could be the last Premier League commentary of the season. Southampton Crystal Palace, it'll be game week 36, so it might be a rescheduled game, so it might be Southampton playing the FA Cup semi-final, so probably the rescheduled game that. And then 17th of May, it's a Monday, 6 p.m. Bournemouth versus Brentford. Championship playoff the semi-final first leg. That'll be on the 17th of May. And then the second leg is on the 22nd of May on the Saturday. But I don't know if I'll be able to do that one because, as you know, that is the weekend where fans are allowed back in the ground. And I am a season ticket holder for a National League club. And we are playing at home on the 22nd. So it's very, very tight in terms of being home, getting home in time for the game and to prepare everything. So I probably won't be able to do the second leg, so I might have to just do one leg of the Championship playoffs, semi-finals, and then just wait for the final, because I will be doing the Championship playoff final on the 29th of May, Champions League final day. Obviously, the Championship playoff final will be a lot earlier than the Champions League final. And then that is it for the football club season in terms of commentaries this year. I'll do a few Euros ones, not many, because obviously everyone can watch the Euros. No matter what country you're in, it's all available. So that'll be it for the season, 29th of May, and then I'll do a few Euros ones just to experience. I've not done an international one yet, and then there'll be a break, and then we'll be back again for next year, where we'll probably start off the commentaries with the Community Shield final or the first game of the Premier League season. It'll probably be the Community Shield final. We'll probably come back with, so we'll have a bit of a big break. I think a break that I need just to kind of rewind from them all. No more car, no, devastating. It's just the way it is. But if we look at Euro 2020 quickly, when does it end and when does it start? Just have a look here. So I think the first game is on the 11th of June, Turkey versus Italy. What a game that is, by the way. Because Turkey are a good team. Good team. Don't underestimate Turkey. I think they're a bit of a dark horse, Turkey, in these Euros. So the first game is on the 11th of June, and the final is on the 11th of July. So because I won't commentate on the final, because especially if it's England, I'm watching that. Say, for example, I do one of the semi-finals as my last commentary. That's 7th of July, and another Premier League starts mid-August, so it'll be like, pretty much, there'll be like a month's break. 4-week break from commentaries, then we're back again. So it's not even that long, really, if you think about it. Football's just so quick, especially when it comes to international tournaments. So to be fair, even if I do the Euro semi-finals, or even if I just do some group stage games, I'll be back commentating about 5 weeks, 6 weeks time. So it's not even that long, really. Obviously, I'll do content between that. I will do Euros content, like I'll do match reactions to the England games, because obviously I don't tell you what teams I support club-wise, in case you think I'm biased, but I can't really escape the fact that I am English. you can quite tell. So I will do like fan reactions, like after game reactions to the England games, just to put content out there and all that. I might do some Euro sticker videos as well. There will still be content, just won't be any commentaries for a little bit. But if there's no games to commentate on, I can't help that. But it'll be nice to have a bit of a break just to kind of recharge and then just get ready for the next season. I'm in college next year, so I have consistently done two a week this season for the majority, which I've been happy with myself with. So it might have to change to one a week, which might just have to happen. It's not my fault. It is what it is. So if that is the case, then that's just is what it is. But I'll try and do two. But if I'm going to have to do one a week, then it's just, like I said, it is what it is. But like I said, this season, this Tuesday, 8:15, Southampton, Crystal Palace, looking like it will be the last Premier League commentary. Then we'll have Bournemouth versus Brentford on the 17th, not this Monday after. And then on the 22nd, on that Saturday, I'll try and do the Bournemouth-Brentford second leg. But like I said, fans are back in grounds, and I am supposed to be back in for my team in the National League 5th tier English football, we are meant to be back in on that day, and the Championship playoffs semi-finals, it's either at 12:30 kick-off, which I don't think I'll be able to do because I play on the Saturday morning, and then the ones at 5:30, which I don't think I'll be able to do because I'll get back too late from the game that I'm hopefully going to, fingers crossed, get back in the stadium finally. So it's not really working out. So if I can't do that, then we're just going to have to miss the second leg. There's just not much I can do. And then from the 17th of May, if that is the commentary I have to do last and miss the second leg, then there might be another slot for a Premier League game instead of the Championship playoff final. So we'll have to see. Just keep up to date with the channel. Subscribe so you know when the commentaries are happening. I usually schedule them a day before. Follow the Instagram as well. It's football_commentaries. I post commentary updates on there all the time. So basically what I'm saying is just keep an eye out. And the only commentaries I can guarantee are Southampton Palace on this Tuesday and Bournemouth Brentford next Saturday. Next Monday. They're the two I can guarantee for you. The semi-final, second leg, playoff, can't guarantee that. And I can guarantee the Championship playoff final on the 29th, but we don't know who's in that yet. So, yeah, that's where we're at the minute. And then the Euros, and then a bit of a break, and then we're back. So, yeah, hectic season this year. So many games all the time. It's just been absolutely mental. I've enjoyed it. It's been a hell of a season. Everything seems like it's happened. And yeah, should we see how many commentary we've done this year? Should we have a quick count? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, and today we are doing our 49th commentary of the season. Wow, that is a lot of notes that are literally right there in a big stack. So I could do these notes here. I've done 49 of them this season, or 48, because I remember once I did Rangers versus Benfica, and basically they played them on a Thursday. Then the next Thursday they were playing them again, and that week I was either ill or just very tired, and basically I just reused the notes again, which is quite poor for me. I've not done it since. So yeah, 48 set of notes, 49 at mental. What a season, it really has. I've enjoyed it. Champions League was great. We followed Chelsea's route to the final in the end because that was just what best fit my schedule, and we saw Chelsea go all the way through. You know, we've done some FA Cup games as well, mainly Premier League and Champions League. The second half of this game is going to be back on the way in about 2 minutes' time. And then next season, do it all over again. I'm excited. I'm excited to see if any big transfers happen this year. Obviously, we've had COVID, so money isn't really flowing in football for some clubs. So, yeah, interested to see if any signings happen. And the Euros, come on, England. What I'd do for us to win the Euros, seriously. What I'd do. Who knows? Let's have belief and hope. Belief and hope. Because why not? Who says we can't win it? Who's going to stop us? Probably other than ourselves, probably, to be fair. I can imagine England just bottling it themselves, making mistakes or something, but let's hope not. Let's hope not. Yeah, 29th of May, and then the Football League season commentaries are done. It's 20 days. 20 days. Wow. Yeah, I'll do a few Euros. Like I said, the Euros games are very easy to get hold of because obviously they'll be televised in every country. So I might not get great views on them, but I'll choose the games I think will be the most entertaining and worthwhile, and then we'll just go from there. Let's get a timer ready as well for the second half. Right, we're ready to go for this second half. As Arsenal do lead West Brom by 2-0. West Brom are currently relegated as it stands. Like I said, the last time West Brom won at this ground was 3-2. Will we get a repeat of that? Who knows? Who knows? Here we go. We're about to get underway again. Players are back out. West Brom will kick off, kicking right to left. Arsenal kicking left to right. Smith Rowe scoring in the 29th minute. Pepe in the 35th. And as it stands, West Brom are being relegated on 26 points with 3 games remaining of the season. Can they turn this around? Very unlikely, but do not count West Brom out. Let's see if a miracle can happen in front of our eyes as we kick off again with Kyle Bartley receiving the ball, shifting it over to Ajayi. Back to Sam Johnson, the keeper, who takes a heavy touch and just about clears it in behind. And he's going to give chase here, Pereira, as he nearly gets there first. But Bernd Leno is playing sweeper-keeper role and clears it for Arsenal as West Brom have a throw inside the Arsenal half. Close that. Sam Johnson having to hurry the ball away, and he sent it all the way back to the opposition keeper. Well, thank you to everyone. If you can like and subscribe, fantastic. Coming towards the end of the season as Sam Johnson clears it forward. Gabriel can only flick the ball away to the left-hand side, where it's gone out for a throw-in for West Brom in a dangerous area where they could probably work a long throw-in to try and score the first goal and try and inspire this comeback. But they have lost their last 7 Premier League away games to Arsenal with an aggregate score of 15-1. So they've not even scored. They've only scored 1 goal in the last 7 in this ground as well. As Furlong will throw it in. It's a long throw in as well. Gabriel wins it and only heads it back towards Furlong again. He tries to help it back in, but El Nenny's the one to clear. Up towards Connor Townsend, the left back, and he helps it back over to the former Manchester United goalkeeper Sam Johnston. He clears it along up towards Callum Chambers, who wins it for Arsenal. Up to Nicolas Pepe, who can't quite keep the ball in. Heavy touch from pressure from Conor Gallagher. I will say that's Sam Johnson as well. Joined United at the age of 16 in 2009. Didn't make any senior appearances and was shipped out on loan 7 times before leaving in 2018 to West Brom after loan spells as well. I think at Aston Villa. West Brom are in possession. Pereira again dropping deep for the ball in that holding midfield role, and he looks to spray the ball in behind, looking for Callum Robinson. Header won by Callum Chambers, and it's now Pepe shifting it across to the edge of the 18-yard box with number 6 Gabriel. It's now over to Rob Holding. But the last time Arsenal did score more than 3 goals at home was in the 4-2 win against Leeds back on Valentine's Day of this year. So they haven't scored more than 3 for a while, and they scored 4 that day, but they could easily score more than 3 today. Saka, Ceballos. Back over to Rob Holding, just inside the Arsenal half, plays it forward. Smith Rowe lays it off first time to Chambers. Pepe's making a run behind. He's going to look for him with a lifted ball there. Chambers headed out by Ajayi to Kyle Bartley. It's now with Townsend down the line to Robertson. Goes in inside. Looking towards Pereira, his touch is a little heavy, and he will fall over to Smith Rowe on the right. Tries to take it in his control, but runs out of pitch. The throw in it is for West Brom with Connor Townsend. Joined in 2018, the left back from Scunthorpe. Joined for £756,000. In 2018, Carl Bartley, who received the throw and just ran it out for another throw in. He was pressured also by Gabriel Martinelli, the young 19-year-old Brazilian who would turn 20 years old in June. As the Chambers throw-in goes long up towards Martinelli, headed inside by West Brom defender towards Pepe, who strikes towards the near post. Good save by Sam Johnson as he got low to his left to stop further misery for West Brom. The throw-in was down the line, and Connor Townsend tried to head it down the line, but instead headed it inside for Pepe. Tight angle. I don't think he was ever going to beat Sam Johnston, but he got good power on it there, and he's already scored 1 from that right-hand side. Worked a good save. Solid hands by the keeper. Corner for Arsenal. And we're just under 5 minutes into the second half. We still are at 2-0 with Willian looking to take an out-swinging corner. Doesn't look like he's going to go short this time. No, he's not. He's swinging it into the box, head of the way. Over to Martinelli, who volleys it, blocked to the edge of the box to Smith Rowe, who strikes, and it's an easy save into the hands of Sam Johnston, who will look to clear it quickly. It's in the sky, and he give chase to Matt Phillips. His Ceballos will get there ahead of him and just swing it out nicely to Smith Rowe on the left, who does slip, but he's back on his feet and keeps it into the possession of Arsenal. It's forward by Ceballos into El Neni. Here's the right-hand side again to Chambers in the West Brom half. It's now with Nicolas Pepe. Back to Chambers, who will keep calm on the ball and play it back over to Rob Holding. It's now Gabriel, who did not play a single minute of the last 3 games in the Europa League for Arsenal. The partnership they went for was Holding and Pablo Mari, who was formed with Manchester City. Pablo Mari's not even in the squad today. The Spaniard, with Willian playing it inside to Smith Rowe as he was caught late. He tried to continue but lost balance, fell to the ground, and a free kick given by the referee as Yokoshlu just makes sure Smith Rowe is okay because he understands he did just catch him late there. He did go for the ball there. Yokoshlu saw he couldn't get it, just sort of clipped Smith Rowe. He did try to stay on his feet but lost balance, and then a free kick for Arsenal. Can take quickly. Now Ceballos to Smith Rowe again, who's on the ball and plays it back to El Neni. Right on the centre circle. Back out wide left to Ceballos. It's now Willian. Inside to El Neni. Smith Rowe. Nice little touch into Martinelli. Can't quite keep it away from Kyle Bartley. And West Brom have got it back now with Yokoshlu in the midfield. It's now Robinson in that sole holding midfield role, the winger. Plays it over to Furlong. It's now to Semi Ajayi. Kyle Bartley. Born in Stockport, where Phil Foden is born, if you want a bit more certainty of where Stockport is, within Manchester. It's Robinson has it to Pereira. Good challenge by Chambers, but it only falls as far as Townsend. As West Brom are halfway inside the Arsenal half, and they look to try and get at least one goal to maybe cause a bit of a comeback, a bit of a spark in the West Brom team. They've shifted it to the right-hand side to Matt Phillips. Furlong's going to overlap, but not use him. Phillips runs down the right and gets a heavy cross in. It's going to work its way all the way over to Townsend on the left, who heads it back inside to Diagne. Back to goal. Tackle fairly by Holding. Somehow gets it away from Diagne and finds Pepe. He looks to try and get beyond Pereira. He doesn't allow that. Pereira. Good strong slight challenge by the winger and gives Arsenal the throw-in. Arsenal, though, are unbeaten away in their last 5 Premier League games, winning 3 of them and drawing twice, scoring 12 goals in the process. But at home, it's not been, too pleasant. Obviously, losing to Everton at home in the Premier League not too long ago, and then drawing against Villarreal at home, and drawing to Fulham, and only drawing the game in the 97th minute, thanks to an Eddie Nketiah goal assisted by backup keeper Matt Ryan, who's on loan from Brighton. Not in the squad today. They've gone for Alex Runarsson, the Icelandic goalkeeper, as their backup keeper on the bench today, in case for any reason Leno needs to be replaced. Ceballos brings it forward. Smith Rowe back to El Neni, who again sits just in between the two centre-backs as Ceballos does give it to Gabriel, who's just shifted further left here for Arsenal, spreading the pitch and dinks it down the line looking for Saka. Takes it under control but has slipped. Matt Phillips just about tackles Saka and gets it off Saka last to win a throw-in. Great challenge from Matt Phillips, who did slip but was able to still get a foot out to stop Saka from advancing forward and also getting it off Saka last to win his team a throw-in as well. Now Semi Ajayi back to Sam Johnston. His 6-yard box shifts it over to the left. He's going to be pressed by Martinelli. It's a poor ball away, looking for his left back, and he finds Nicolas Pepe. Finds Martinelli forward, tries to turn. Poor touch, picked up by Yokoshlu. It's now Ajayi to Furlong in the right back area. He can clear, and West Brom and Sam Johnston get away with it. It's played down the line, flicked on by Diagne up towards Pereira. I think's just caught Gabriel accidentally there in the face. The touch from Pereira's gone out for a throw-in. I don't know if he has given a free kick because it was accidental. The ball's in the air. He's gone in with the shoulder and his left arm's just trailing there from Pereira, and he gives away a throw-in as his touch off his shoulder was poor, and he's just left his left arm out there trailing. Seems like it was a little bit intentional there to leave his left arm out, knowing that Gabriel was coming around. Nothing done though, nothing given. I think it's just a throw-in for Arsenal. Well defended though by Gabriel. There's no Saka. Whether throwing the left back for today. He did play a lot at left back in his first season in the Arsenal senior squad. Bukayo Saka. As he's throwing down the line, has been cut out by Furlong, and we're going to have the first change. It's going to be to West Brom. It's going to be number 4, Hal Robson-Kanu. He's played Arsenal 8 times. He scored twice in the fixture as well. Hal Robson-Kanu. He scored once in the Premier League, I'm pretty sure, for West Brom when they were in the Premier League in the 2016-17 season. He scored in a 3-1 win at the Hawthorns. Craig Dawson scored twice now at West Ham, and Hal Robson-Kanu also scored in the 55th minute to beat Arsenal that day. And he's also scored against them one other time, and he's also assisted against Arsenal in the 2012-13 season when Arsenal went to Reading, one of his former clubs, Robson-Kanu, and won 7-5 in what is now the League Cup. I think it was, I can't remember what it was called back then. It's had so many names, the League Cup. But he assisted in that 5-7 game. Didn't score, but did assist. As he has played 420 games in his career, now 421 for Swindon, Southend, Reading and West Brom all together. And he will replace the main man, the striker, Mbaye Diagne, the man on loan from Galatasaray. He's not quite had the impact today. Has got 3 Premier League goals since joining on loan, but it's now Robson-Kanu to play up front and get it from the throne, but can't quite keep it away from Holding, and he's lost it now. It's now Gabriel playing it back to Leno. He just about shifts it back over to Gabriel again, into Ceballos, shifts it to the left to Saka, closed down by Gallagher, gets it past him, and Willian plays it back to Gabriel, as he just about keeps it in. Willian with a bit of a misplaced ball there. But Gabriel clears it up long towards Martinelli, header won by Ajayi. Furlong, it's now Gallagher who will bring it forward and release Matt Phillips on the right. Can he find the right cross? Tries to pull it back towards Gallagher, and Ceballos just about cuts it out for a corner. That was close though, that pull back towards Gallagher. Looks like he was going to get to him, but I think just a trailing leg of Ceballos blocked the ball from getting into the path of the Chelsea loanee, Conor Gallagher. He's had a decent year in his first year as a Premier League footballer, Conor Gallagher, because he has had a couple loan spells while at Chelsea. He's been there since 2008, Conor Gallagher, from the age of 8. Here's Matheus Pereira, a left-footed in-swinging ball for West Brom as they do look to score a goal in this game. Crossed in, it's a dangerous ball in, it had to be dealt with in the 6-yard box by Rob Holding. Another corner. The last time out between these two teams, it did end in a 4-0 win for Arsenal. Tierney scoring once, Saka scoring once, and Lacazette with 2. As they played it to the edge of the box from this corner to Matt Phillips, who strikes, and we're going to get a third corner in quick succession. Yeah, 4-0 win it was in the end in January. In February, 2nd of February of this year. So Pereira again with the corner. Will he cross it in? 6-yard box is surrounded. And they are going to put it into that 6-yard box. He crosses it in, looking to catch out Leno. He parries it away, but only as far as another corner. 4 corners now in very quick succession. Leno nearly getting caught out by a curling in-swinger by Matheus Pereira. He's got a decent record of goals this year, 9 in the Premier League. He was looking for number 10. Matheus Pereira, it was curling in. It was a good save by Leno in the end, stopping it with his right hand. As again, he is surrounded by green and yellow shirts in that 6-yard box. Conor Gallagher this time to take it. It'll be a right-footed in-swinger towards the near post, headed away by Gabriel. Back to the corner taker Gallagher, who will then cross it in against a better ball, but it's a good anticipation from Leno, who rolls it out quickly to Ceballos and then plays it out wide left to Pepe as they look to counter. Gives it back to Ceballos as he will charge the ball forward. Saka's making a run. He'll find him. He'll play it to him. He'll play it across towards Martinelli. He's missed it, and so is Smith Rowe. And it'll fall all the way across to the opposite side, where Robinson will let it roll for a throw-in for West Brom. And what a chance. The counter-attack seemed to be a bit slow at the beginning, with Pepe bringing it forward. He found Ceballos, who then found Saka down the byline again. Not the first time he's done that today, Saka. He's been down that byline so many times. played it across into the 6-yard box. What a ball, and how has no one touched that in? Martinelli missed it the first time, and then Smith Rowe scored his first Premier League goal today. Looked for his second, but he couldn't get on the end of it. And in the end, it ended in a throw-in. But a change, and it's been a bit of a frustrating performance for Martinelli. He will be replaced. I'm not sure he's really used to that striker role. He was bullied pretty much all day by Bartley and Ajayi. I think he's more suited to be a winger, but he's put a shift in for his team, and he will be replaced by the man who scored 2 goals in the reverse fixture, Alexandre Lacazette. He is the top goal scorer this season for Arsenal in the Premier League with 13. He's not been in the squad for the last 2 games, but he's back today, back on the pitch for the last half an hour of this game. Pepe looks to close down Bartley, can only clear it away for a throw for Arsenal in the final third. So Arsenal going to look to attack again, but Lacazette does like a goal against West Brom. He's scored 2 in the reverse fixture and 2 in the home fixture back in the 2017-18 season, where Arsenal did win 2-0, so his 2 goals were the difference that day. One was a penalty in the 67th minute, so if we get a penalty in about 6 minutes' time, then we could have a bit of a deja vu. Sam Johnson will take a free kick for West Brom as they just won it there, as Arsenal were looking to get around them, but they just caught a West Brom player late. That'll be Sam Johnson to take this free kick for West Brom. Sends it forward, up towards Robson Kanu against El Neni. Does flick it on, looking for Kyle Bartley, who's got into the striking area, the centre-back. But a free kick's been given against Robson Kanu as he won that header. He must have caught El Neni in the process. Robson Kanu is very, very confused, the Welshman. He's asking the question from Peter Banks, where was the foul? I'm not too sure, to be honest. Let's have a look. Oh, yes. As he goes, I don't think he means it intentionally, but an elbow did catch the face of El Neni there. He's just using his arms, but elbows him right in the face. Yeah, Robson Kanu, when you watch that back, mate, you'll understand. Oh, a bleeding lip for El Neni as well. Robson Kanu booked. Again, I don't think it was too intentional. He was just using his arms as kind of like, leeway just to kind of get there first, and he's caught El Neni square in the face, and it's quite a bloody lip there for El Neni. It will be a nasty one to have to carry through the game if he continues. Ahmed El Neni will hopefully not want to I don't know what I'm going to say. Just El Neni will hopefully can recover from that, because he did see quite a nasty elbow right into the face. But for El Neni, he has played West Brom twice, both at home in 2-0 wins in the 2015-16 season and the 2017-18 season. So could we get another 2-0 win, which El Neni plays in? That will be quite mental, if I say so myself. But El Neni's back on his feet. He's up. He's got a little bit of tissue to try and stop the bleeding on his lip. As we're going to have another Arsenal change. It's going to be Kieran Tierney to come on. He wasn't fully fit for the game against Villarreal, but he was kind of thrown in there as Xhaka picked up an injury in the warm-up, and he will get another 28 minutes or so in this game, the Scotsman, as the player replaced will be Emile Smith-Rowe, who is just hobbling off. Hopefully that's nothing too serious there, as Smith-Rowe will come off and Kieran Tierney will go to left back, and that will allow Saka to get further forward now and play just in behind the striker of Alexandre Lacazette. So just as Saka's been dangerous at left back, he should be even more dangerous now at centre attack in midfield. As well, and then he's looked like he's going to get back onto the pitch as that free kick's been taken. Up towards Lacazette, goes over him and Kyle Bartley, up towards Townsend. He will volley it high into the sky down the left-hand side, where Robinson will look to head it on against Callum Chambers. He will just let it run for a throw-in for Arsenal, as Robinson couldn't quite head it away or even clear it away with a volley. Chambers throws it back to Holding in the Arsenal half. Played back to Bernd Leno. He also has the one appearance against West Brom in the reverse fixture, as he did spend 7 years of his career at Bayer Leverkusen, keeping 100 clean sheets in his 7 years there, not winning a single trophy unfortunately though. And a ball played up towards Kieran Tierney. He's been cut out by Furlong, and it's a throw-in taken quickly by Kieran Tierney to Saka. Gets the return and tackled on the edge of the pitch by Conor Gallagher, and will win another throw-in. Tierney throws it inside to Willian. Laid off once to Ceballos. Now back to Holding as Arsenal keep possession. Chambers. Pepe back to Chambers again. Holding. Danny Ceballos. Saka to Ceballos again. Just on the halfway line, Ceballos is patrolling the area with the ball, and he finds Saka, who then plays it forward to Kieran Tierney. Looks to go inside and play it into Willian on the edge of the box. Shifts it over towards Saka, who look across for Alexandre Lacazette, and again they've missed the ball. I think that's happened 3 times where Saka has put a ball right across the 6-yard box, and each time no one's touched the ball. Well, if they've touched the ball, it's not been goal bound, it's been even further away from the goal. Great ball from Willian, poking it towards Saka. It took a touch off, I think, Matt Phillips to Saka as he played it across towards Lacazette, who's got 4 goals already against West Brom, coming in 2 individual braces. Looking for his 5th there, but couldn't quite get on the end of it. As he went in to try and finish it, I think he just took out a West Brom player in the process, so it will be a free kick. 25 minutes to go, Sam Johnston clearing it forward. Header won by Holding, but backwards, but thankfully Callum James is there for him. Plays forward to Pepe, who dummies it, and it comes off Connor Townsend on the left back, and it'll be a throw-in for Arsenal. So it looks like we're going to get another change. It's going to be for West Brom this time. Grady Dean Garner will be the man to come on for West Brom. Only played 16 times in the Premier League this season. I know he suffered with injuries a little bit this year, and he's supposed to be quite a young, bright player, but we haven't quite seen the best of him this year. Lacazette pokes it forward to Ceballos, just about keeps it in and plays it forward towards Saka, but only as far as a West Brom player who clears it away. For a throw-in on the halfway line for Arsenal, how are we going to get the change now for West Brom, or is it going to be another change until it happens again? It gets a fist bump from the gaffer. We're not going to see him yet. So Arsenal got the game back underway with Bert Leno. Callum Chambers, El Neni, back out wide to Willian, who crosses the halfway line and will sprint forward and release Pepe down the right-hand side. Will he cut onto his left again like he did for his goal? He will, but he'll play it across to the edge of the box to Saka, who's tackled fairly, says the referee, by Gallagher, but it falls to Lacazette on the left-hand side. Gets onto his right foot, fakes one shot and then shifts it to Tierney on the left. There's players in the box where Tierney can aim for, and he'll pull it back, and again Pepe's missed it. And it'll fall to the left-back Townsend, and he'll play it forward to Pereira as West Brom could get on the counter-attack here. Pereira, he's got the pace on Ceballos. He's got Robson Kanu up with him. He'll use that as a decoy to create more space and shoot and put it into the bottom corner. It comes off the post, and it is a beautiful run by Pereira. An unbelievable goal as he's met by a round of applause by his gaffer and a round smile as they're back in the game at 2-1. In their last 7 games at the Emirates in the Premier League, they've only scored once. But Pereira, he's been fantastic this year. He's got 10 now in the Premier League for the season. He picks it up in his own half and just runs and runs until he can't no more, where he thinks, right, I've got to have to shoot here. And he shoots towards that bottom right corner. He slots it right in there. It comes off the post, into the back of the net. Leno stretching for it. He can't get there. So that means Leno can't hit his 10th clean sheet of the season. He's going to have to stay on 9. And that change has been made. It's Callum Robinson for Grady Dean Garner. And the game is right back on. Mateus Pereira, who picked it up in his own half and just kept running with the ball. He had the pace on Ceballos, and as he was about to run into some traffic, he got the shot away, and what a shot it was on the left foot. And the Brazilian magician scores for West Brom, and the game is back on. With Sam Johnston clipping it up the halfway line. Header won by Tierney, back going as far as Semi Ajayi. The Nigerian, the centre-back, he's played 14 times for his country, and he plays it back forward towards Pereira. He's in behind. The flag stayed down. He's got the runner Gallagher. Doesn't use it. Plays inside instead to Dean Garner. Just about keeps possession of the ball. Gets it back out towards Pereira. Cut out by Tierney. Cleared away as far as Kyle Bartley, West Brom captain. As they'll get confidence from that, and they'll look to score. Last time I watched West Brom and commentated on them, it was against Aston Villa away, where they drew 2-2, and they were fantastic in that game for the majority. Bartley switches it towards the right. Brought down. What a touch by Dean Garner. Looks to take on Tierney down that right-hand side. Flip-flap skill move, and he's tackled by Tierney, and it comes off Dean Garner last for a goal kick. Dean Garner's absolutely stunned. He thinks that should be a corner. But I think as Tierney tackled Dean Garner, it just took a nick off the winger last. Sam Allardyce now at the age of 66. He's never been relegated as a Premier League manager, but it's still going to happen today. As Leno will take this goal kick, he ushers his team up the pitch. West Brom, though, as well, they've only failed to score in one of the last 5 games. The only game they didn't score in was in a 3-0 loss away to Leicester. So they are scoring in games, just not really picking up many results as Carl Bartley wins that header. Only as far as El Neni, who heads it only as far as Yokoshlu. It's now Gallagher, who's caught late by Ceballos. And the advantage is not played. It'll be a yellow card for Ceballos on the halfway line, a free kick. Well won by Conor Gallagher. Peter Banks ordering Ceballos to come towards him and, give him that yellow card. Gallagher nicely played, got it across his body and played the ball forward, and then caught by Ceballos. 20 minutes to go. Pulse added on time. We've got a game on our hands here, and it'll be the goal scorer Pereira to take this free kick from the edge of the, from just the edge of the West Brom half, just on the halfway line. Lifts it into the box where Jai will head it in towards. Oh, who's that? Is that Robson Kanu? Robson Kanu got shot away over the bar, and I think it's a goal kick. Really well won there by Jai at the back post. Head it inside towards Robson Kanu, who took a touch and then tried to hit it, kind of half hit it as El Neni was meeting him. And it went over the bar and a goal kick it is. Was it a free kick for a raised boot from Robson Kanu? If that's the fact, that's poor refereeing. But Leno clears it up towards Pepe on the right, chests it down. Great touch from Pepe. Plays it back to Chambers on the halfway for Arsenal. And back we go to Holding. Takes a touch forward and tries to get it back inside, but deflects off Robson Kanu to Matt Phillips, and they've shifted it all the way over to Gallagher. Now to Furlong, the West Brom right back. Go over to Ajayi. Carl Bartley in the back line for West Brom. Connor Townsend. West Brom have not really had much of the ball in possession, 33%, but they're getting back on the ball now as Robson Kanu gets the ball lifted towards him, tries to touch it down as he's knocked down, and the referee doesn't see it as a foul, and the ball fell to an Arsenal man in the end, so they're back in possession. Now Neni over to Gabriel. Can we get some late drama in this game? It's the 143rd time these two teams have met. Arsenal winning 73 of them, 31 draws, and West Brom winning 38. 4 of them being in the Premier League, 3 of them at home, 1 of them away. As they've worked it to Callum Chambers now, as they've got Pepe further forward, he'll be fed. Pepe tries to step over on Connor Townsend, but the left back says no, you shall not pass, and Pepe thinks he should have a foul there. Oh no, he's gone the other way. Townsend's won a foul as he was held back by Pepe. I didn't really think there was much in that. I thought he just won the ball fairly and he shifted it away from Pepe, but there's a foul in there somewhere by the winger as he lost it, and there'll be a free kick for Sam Johnston to take. So this will go down the West Brom left-hand side. As West Brom look to score another goal. Goes to Robson Kanu, touches it down to Pereira, then into Gallagher, takes it on the turn nicely, plays it across to Robson Kanu, then to Matt Phillips, who's currently playing as a left winger. He's one-on-one with Callum Chambers. Tries to get onto his right foot, back onto his left, gets a dangerous cross in, the header's won, but it's been put wide. Furlong from right back got into the box. He's already got 1 goal this season in a 2-1 loss to Newcastle. He wanted his 2nd goal of the season, right just on the 6-yard area line. He's won the header on Kieran Tierney. Great cross from Matt Phillips, and wide it went. So close, not far away from the right back, and Arsenal are under a little bit of pressure here. Just the 1 shot on target so far for West Brom. Arsenal have had 6 on target. Leno clears it up the pitch towards Pepe again. Touches it down towards Willian. Can't get there ahead of Yokoshlu, but it falls to Pepe in the end as Yokoshlu fell to the ground. Tries to feed it through towards Lacazette, cut out and cleared by Ajayi. Towards Gabriel, who plays it forward to Ceballos, who turns forward, looks for a forward pass. Ceballos, across it goes to Willian, about 30 yards away from goal. Lifts it towards the right side where Chambers will get onto it. Crosses it first time with lift, but not much accuracy, headed away by Furlong, but it's El Neni who keeps it alive for Arsenal. to Ceballos. Can't find Tierney on the left. Cut out in the end by Dean Garner. And now to Pereira. Takes it on the turn. Lovely. Shifts it away from Tierney. It's now Yokoshlu. The man on loan from Celta Vigo. Plays it over to Kyle Bartley. Cross to Ajayi. 75th minute, nearly 30 seconds away from it, as Ajayi sends it down the right hand side channel up towards Robson Kanu. Tries to bring it down, and Gabriel can't quite do so first time. He will keep chasing the centre back though, as he's forced him to clear it down the line and out of play for a throw for West Brom. Yeah, we've just played 74 minutes and 40 seconds of this game. It's Arsenal 2, West Brom 1. West Brom have failed to win in their last 3 games, 1 loss. That was against Leicester, the other 2 results being draws. One of them being in their last fixture against Wolves. Long throwing in by Furlong. Flicked on by Ajayi, cleared by Holding. Only as far as the edge of the box to Pereira, who kicks it back out wide right to Furlong. Clips it into the box, only as far as Chambers, who can have a free header away. Up to Matt Phillips, who then gets it. Down the left, puts another left-footed cross, and it's a good cross, punched away by Leno. Flicked on by Ceballos as it fell to Gallagher, who slipped, and it came off his hand accidentally. And he's been booked, Gallagher. Bit harsh, that. I don't think he meant it. Yellow card for Conor Gallagher. He just slipped, and as he slipped, his arms were just in the air. As he slipped, and a yellow card. A bit unfortunate, that. Thomas Partey will be coming on for Arsenal. He'll be replacing Danny Ceballos. Thomas Partey, formerly of Atletico Madrid, comes on. He's had a few injury problems himself this season. Thomas Partey has missed 10 Premier League games out injured. He's yet to score as well. Yeah, he did miss that reverse fixture against West Brom due to injury. As Tierney looks to get beyond, I think, Grady Dean Garner on the Arsenal left, but can't quite do so. Can't recover as well. So now Gallagher, clipped late by Lacazette. And a foul and a free kick for West Brom. I feel like I've just got a feeling that we're going to see a late West Brom goal, and I don't know why. I just feel like we're going to get one. It'd be great for a neutral point of view like myself. But yeah, Sam Allardyce has highlighted the importance of Akaya Yokoshlu on loan. He's played for West Brom now 13 times. Chambers follows it away back to the back line of West Brom, where it'll be Yokoshlu to pick it up. Go back to Sam Johnston. He's got 1 assist this season. He clears it up long towards Robson Kanu, header won by Holding. Only finds Pereira on the left, who picks it up. He's been fantastic today, Mateus Pereira, scoring his 10th goal of the Premier League season. Wonder if any Premier League clubs will be after him as he tries to get the ball from Yokoshlu, but it's a poor ball from the Turkish international. And Arsenal have it back with Callum Chambers to Thomas Partey in the 18-yard box. He's been pressured, but he can get a pass out wide towards Willian, who just about keeps it under control. It's now with Pepe, back to Chambers. They're stuck in the defensive final third here. Or the defensive third, but he's worked it up to Lacazette, who holds it up and then finds El Neni, who shifts it to Tierney on the left. It's well worked there from Arsenal. Great play from Lacazette. It's been laid back into El Neni, who will drive forward the ball. Find Tierney, who gets an early crossing up towards Lacazette, header won by Ajayi. Only as far as the edge of the box to Saka, who pushes Yokoshlu in the back to get an advantage, and a foul given against Saka, and a free kick as well to West Brom. There's Sam Allardyce. I think he's been stuck in that seat, second row in the dugout for the whole game. I don't think he's got up. I really don't. So we've got a free kick here. We've got another change. Oh, double change for West Brom. Willian's down as well. I think he was caught when Arsenal were trying to get out of their defensive third. I think he got caught late or something, or he may have rolled over on something. I'd see a replay. But I do think West Brom are making a double change, if I can see that correctly. Unless it was plays on the sideline, just picking up some fluids and liquids. just hit the 79th minute, or 10 seconds into it. And we just had a stoppage of play with Willian. Getting some treatment. Will he be replaced in the end? Bit of a better performance from Willian. I still don't really see the drive and the determination that he actually wants to be at Arsenal, but played a little bit better alongside Saka at left back when he was playing there, causing a lot of havoc for West Brom. So I don't think it will be a double change for West Brom. I think there was just plays on the sidelines. And I don't think Willian's coming off as well, so we'll get back underway. No changes as of yet, and Sam Johnston up towards Kyle Bartley. Can't win the header on Chambers, but then Conor Gallagher, who tried to pick up the seconds, has been pushed over by Lacazette. And just on the left-hand side, quite far out, but it's a great opportunity for West Brom to get this ball in the box. Lacazette, the man to give away the foul. Going to be a good position for Matheus Pereira with that left foot to put a ball in the box here. It was well won by Conor Gallagher, central midfielder. Him, Gallagher and Pereira are stood over it. Willian's a one-man wall. Pereira's got his right arm raised. Conor Gallagher runs over the ball. And Pereira swings it in. It's met at the first West Brom man by Furlong. And as his header about 5 minutes ago went wide, that one's gone over the bar. And West Brom again, who are coming close to a goal. Not quite there yet. But with Arsenal being under so much pressure and just so much pressure about their fans in general, a negative result would, I think, really draw the line for Arsenal fans. You know, drawing at home to West Brom would be really embarrassing after that 2-0 win away at Newcastle last week in the Premier League. El Neni and Aubameyang scoring that day. Leno up towards the right hand side, header won strongly by Bartley up towards, I think that was Pereira, but the header was won by Thomas Partey. Now Willian, heavy touch given to Semi Ajayi, and West Brom are back in possession. 81 minutes played, still at 2-1. Two first half goals for Arsenal gave them the lead with Smith Rowe and Pepe, and then a goal from Pereira in the 67th minute has give this game a little bit of bite and edge. Ball forward up towards Matt Phillips, header won by Chambers. No Pepe in the right back area. Tries to go inside, cut out by Phillips, but thankfully for him it fell to Holding, who then cleared up the line towards Willian, who couldn't get it ahead of Yakoshlu. It's gone out for a throw-in. It's Yakoshlu takes it quickly inside to Pereira. The only man who can make it work for West Brom. Gets it out wide left to Matt Phillips, who takes a heavy touch, and that play goes for West Brom. Good thinking there by Pereira as well to get it to that West Brom left, but the poor touch from Matt Phillips stopped the attack. And yeah, for Matt Phillips as well, against 4-3 clubs against Arsenal. He's played them 6 times. Not the greatest of records as well. 1 draw, 5 losses. So it's Thomas Partey, the Ghanaian international. It's in the midfield on the halfway line. Forward to Saka. Is it back into Thomas Partey? El Neni. Tierney's making a run down the left. Decides to stop that run because it was blocked off. So Arsenal keep possession. Back to Gabriel. Gets it into the midfield to Willian. Plays out wide to Pepe. 1-on-1 with Townsend again. Good challenge. He commits himself there, Townsend, but wins it. And then tries to play it forward quickly towards Pereira. Gets beyond Pereira. And in the end, Arsenal are back in possession. But it was a good tackle though from Townsend because he really committed himself. He had to win the ball. And thankfully for his team and himself, he did. Willian again drifting in centrally for the ball. Gets beyond a couple of West Brom players and finds Tierney out wide left. Plays it across. It deflects past Pepe to Callum Chambers. Can't meet it nicely. Over the bar it goes and out of play. 83.5 minutes played. It's still 2-1 in this game between Arsenal and West Brom. Will we get an Arsenal win? Will we get a late dramatic draw? Will we somehow get beyond drama of a West Brom win? At this current stage, Allardyce is getting relegated for the first time as a manager. Ball played forward. Arsenal win it back, only as far as Matt Phillips on the left. Poor header away by Thomas Partey. Works it down the left. up towards Robson Carney, who leaves it for Pereira, gets it back into the Welshman Robson Carney on the left, but an offside flag's gone up. And again, Robson Carney doesn't think he's offside, but it might have been on Pereira. I'm not too sure, but someone's been flagged offside. And a free kick it is for Arsenal. This game has been made a lot more harder than it should have been. Arsenal have won 13 league titles in their history, 14 FA Cups, 2 League Cups, 16 Community Shields, one that they share with Tottenham back in 1991. That is true. Community Shields used to be shared if it was a draw, which is quite ridiculous. But so much history in this club being stripped away by owners, and just a lack of integrity in the club that's left. A lot of fans don't recognise the club as a ball's been lifted into the Arsenal box by West Brom. An easy catch for Leno. But yeah, it's just quite sad to see such a fall from grace for Arsenal. Club founded in 1886, moved to the Emirates in 2004. Back then, the stadium cost $390 million to buy and to make and to create. And they've not really brought any success in this ground since it was created. Ball down the left-hand side channel up towards Saka. Out of play from Gabriel, but really poor, and West Brom are back in possession. Quickly taken throw into their goalkeeper, Sam Johnson, who brings it forward towards the halfway line. Does play a ball forward, misplaced touch from Conor Gallagher, given to Tierney. Former Celtic man, his poor pass has led to a furlong pass to Yakoshlu, and West Brom again on the ball. It's to Ajayi, forward to Pereira, who's been fantastic in the last half an hour or so. He was fantastic in the first 20 minutes of the first half. And in the last half an hour of this half, it's Townsend now being put on the ball. Pereira's coming forward in support. Just has to go along to Yakoshlu. He's now on the right-hand side with Ajayi. Saw the left-hand side wasn't an option, so they've gone down their right-hand side. It's now with Furlong. Back to Ajayi. Gallagher finds Furlong. Gallagher tries to find Diangana, pokes it out of play. Throw it for Arsenal halfway in their own half, as they just couldn't quite work it around the red shirts there. West Brom. Sam Allardyce is saying something. He doesn't seem too pleased, as he always seems like he's chewing some chewing gum. He's had quite a career in management. Sam Allardyce managed the likes of Bolton, Newcastle, Blackburn, West Ham, Sunderland, now West Brom as well. As El Neni clears the ball away for Arsenal. Up towards Pepe in the Arsenal half, but Townsend's got there first and heads it forward. And header won by Chambers, but he wasn't too convincing. It's now with Matt Phillips on the left. Has to work away from Pepe. Towards the byline he goes. Can't get beyond Pepe. He gets challenged and tackled and out for a throw-in for West Brom. And it's going to look like a long throw-in to take for West Brom. And he's going to he thought about going short, Townsend, but he's going to launch it into the box. We've just entered the 87th minute. He just throws it short to Pereira. Back into Townsend, who then crosses. It deflects, it loops. It's headed away by Chambers, back to where it came from. But Willian gets there first. Back into Chambers, who lifts it up and volleys. Up towards no one for Arsenal on the halfway line. It's now Yakoshlu, the West Brom central midfielder. Now back out wide to Pereira, the goal scorer. Lifts it forward. Header won by Chambers, though. Couldn't find Matt Phillips, and it's now with Pepe. Back inside to Thomas Partey, the substitute. He's got options to his left with Kieran Tierney and Bukayo Saka. He'll go to Tierney, the Scotsman. And it's now with Bukayo Saka. Back it goes to Thomas Partey. We've just struck the 88th minute. Can they finish the game off Arsenal with a third goal? Put the nail in the coffin of West Brom's title? West Brom's Premier League season. They'll have to try and get back here again next year in the Championship, where they could go for the title. It's now with Willian. A lot of room. Far out. Does he fancy a strike on the edge of the box? Yes, he does. He does shot. He does shoot. Great block from Bartley, and it falls back to Willian. He trips over Willian and gives away a free kick. Bartley, and he's annoyed with himself because he did well to block the first shot and then give away a free kick, as Willian looked to maybe pull the trigger a second time. Yeah, clear free kick there. Former Arsenal man. Like I mentioned before, Kyle Bartley was at the club for 5 years. Made one senior appearance in the Champions League against Olympiacos in the 09-10 season. So he has played in the colours of Arsenal once. A lot of players over it for Arsenal. 4. Saka, Willian, Pepe and Thomas Partey. 1 minute to go until we find out added on time. Have West Brom got time to find an equaliser? Pepe's over it. Saka walks away. I think it's either Pepe or Willian. It's pretty much dead centre, to be fair. So right or left footer can strike this around 25 yards out. So unlike a free kick in the first half where Willian decided to cross it, this will definitely be a shooting chance. It's either Pepe or Willian's. West Brom move slightly forward with their wall, but Willian shoots, and there is his first goal in Arsenal colours. The West Brom wall shifted quite far forward from the white sprayed line where they're supposed to stay behind. They shifted a yard or two beyond that, but even trying to gain an advantage did not stop Willian from caressing that ball from the free kick into the top left corner, getting his first Arsenal goal since joining the club. Sam Johnston had no chance again. He's even put it on the goalkeeper's side. That's how good it was. Right into the top left corner, into the side netting. Even, like I said, on the keeper's side, he still couldn't get nowhere near it. And Willian showing the qualities he does possess when given the right opportunities. It's Arsenal 3, West Brom 1, and despite the last 20 or so minutes of West Brom pressure where they scored within that, it wasn't enough to save themselves from falling into the Championship. Arsenal 3, West Brom 1. And I think that's it for West Brom in the Premier League this season. Great free kick from Willian. Just shows how good it was. He went to the keeper's side and he made it look like the keeper had no chance. That's how good that free kick was. Unbelievable. I just saw I didn't change this to second half. I'm so sorry. That is really annoying. Oh well. Someone could have said something in the chat if you'd saw that, if you noticed. But yeah, we've got 5 minutes added on. We've played 1 minute and 15 of it. Bartley heads forward for West Brom as far as Rob Holding, who will give chase and play back to Leno. He takes a touch just on the edge of his 6-yard box and finds Thomas Partey. Then back out to Rob Holding. We've had goals from Smith Rowe and Pepe in the first half, then one from Willian in the second. He's looked really good today. Willian in the hole. Or on the hole, should I say. Saka works it to Kieran Tierney. Missed the last 4 games and did score in the reverse fixture. His only goal in the Premier League this season for Kieran Tierney. Did assist as well in that game as well. It's Lacazette. Can't quite work himself away from the West Brom defender, and as they try and get forward West Brom, they can't go further forward because an Egyptian slide challenge from El Neni means Arsenal are back in possession. It's Lacazette on the edge. He shifts it onto his right, tries to cut back as he brought down again. No, he's not too easily, says the referee, and he lets play continue with Matt Phillips for West Brom. Can they get maybe one last goal? Matt Phillips. Across to Townsend, pulls it back, shot deflects wide. As Pereira looked to bag his brace for today's game. A shot blocked by Rob Holding. And a corner for West Brom. It's taken quickly and it's put all the way across, deflects to the edge to Semi Ajayi, tries to strike. He catches Lacazette in the process and a free kick on the edge of the box for Arsenal. And Lacazette does stay down in the meantime. Yeah, the last time they scored 3 or more goals was against Leeds back on Valentine's Day. So the fans haven't seen 3 or more goals since then in a home fixture at the Emirates. They did score 3 against Benfica in the Europa League, but that was classed as their home fixture when obviously it wasn't at their home ground. I did say Eintracht Frankfurt before as a Europa League game. I did mean Benfica. I just got my clubs mixed up, I'm pretty sure. Or am I going crazy? Yeah, I am going crazy. Not playing Eintracht Frankfurt this year. So as Leno takes the free kick up towards Pepe, out of pitch it goes. Throw in as Lacazette is back on his feet from that challenge from Ajayi. I say challenge, he was trying to shoot, but caught Lacazette in the process. Chambers, back to Holding it goes. West Brom will lose the ball immediately, and we've got 1 more minute before West Brom become relegated is official. They've huffed and puffed. They sacked Slavan Bilic. They brought in Allardyce. It wasn't enough to avoid the drop. They sit 19th, 26 points, 5 wins, 11 draws, 18 losses. They've not won a game in their last 4 games, including today. And it looks like they are going to fall back down to the Championship. Will they come straight back up? We'll have to find out. They've got a decent set of players with them. Just not quite good enough for the Championship. And the main question is, will they stick with Sam Allardyce as Tierney has been played in behind? Sam Johnston quick off his line to get there and roll it out quickly as well to Gallagher. 15 seconds to go. Will we see any more attacks from West Brom as Dean Garner switches it over to Townsend on the left? 5 seconds to go. Peter Banks has the whistle ready to blow for full time. Pereira brings it forward, scoops it over to Matt Phillips. Pereira keeps running. Again, uses it as a decoy to work across Matt Phillips, straight into the hands of Bernd Leno, and the whistle has been blown. West Brom are officially relegated to the Championship. It is the first time Sam Allardyce has been relegated in his managerial career. It's a new low for West Brom. It's not the first time they've been here, and it might not be the last. They are relegated to the Championship, out of the Premier League. They came up this year, straight back down, just did not have the quality to survive in this year's Premier League. They joined Sheffield United, who are also confirmed as relegated, and I'm sure Fulham will follow not too soon in the future as they play Burnley tomorrow, which if they do not win against Burnley, they are relegated. So West Brom are down. They gave it their all. They've beaten Chelsea recently 5-2. They've beaten Southampton recently as well at home 3-0. But in the end, 2 recent draws against Aston Villa and Wolves, which easily could have been converted to wins, mean they cannot survive. They are relegated. They are going down, and the future is uncertain for West Brom. Will Sam Allardyce stay? Will they go? Will he go? Will they think of something new? And can they keep hold of their main players, the likes of Matheus Pereira, who scored their goal today, and he was fantastic on the whole for West Brom when they were dominant in the game, because they did have 20-minute spells within the game where West Brom were the better team. They got in behind a bit more. They were, causing Arsenal issues for concern. But overall, in the end, they just didn't have the quality. Real, story of their season. And West Brom are down. So that is it for today's commentary. We've got another commentary coming on Tuesday, 11th of May. So 2 days' time. It is Crystal Palace travelling to Southampton. 8:15 kickoff, so a late one. Make sure you're there. And then after that, no more Premier League commentaries. That should be the last one for the season in terms of Premier League. And then we turn our attention to Championship playoff as well, as I forgot to change the score during the game as well. Oh, that's annoying. So I've had West Bromers not scoring for the whole game. Beautiful. Oh well. Bit late now anyway, isn't it? It's the end of the stream. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed. Make sure you're here Tuesday. Southampton take on Palace. But other than that, make sure you like and subscribe. We are here where we've just seen West Brom be relegated as Arsenal stroll to a 3-1 win. Were they perfect at times, Arsenal? Far from it, but good enough to beat West Brom. They have put them down to the Championship. Sam Allardyce relegated for the first time as a manager. And let's just see what's next in the Championship for West Brom Albion.